Welcome to Limitless Mind. Today's topic is life rewards those who appreciate, not complain. Imagine waking up every day feeling stuck, drained, and frustrated because life never seems fair. You look around and see others moving forward while you stay in the same place, wondering why opportunities never come to you. What if I told you that the reason is not luck, circumstances, or other people? It's where your focus lives. Every complaint you repeat, every moment you spend highlighting what's wrong is silently draining your energy, blinding you to possibilities that are already in front of you. Now imagine flipping that. What if, instead of complaining, you trained your mind to notice value, growth, and opportunity in every situation, no matter how small? What if the simple act of appreciating what you have could change how people respond to you, how challenges feel, and how life rewards you? The truth is, life does not reward the loudest complainers, the ones stuck in blame, or the ones pointing out unfairness. Life rewards those who see opportunity where others see obstacles, who take responsibility for their actions, and who move forward with gratitude, focus, and energy. Today is the moment to decide which side you want to live on, to stay trapped in complaint or step into unstoppable momentum fueled by appreciation. Appreciation rewires the mind to see opportunity instead of limitation, because the human brain is not neutral. It is a pattern-detecting machine that searches for evidence to support whatever you repeatedly focus on. When appreciation becomes your dominant focus, your mind is trained to scan your environment for value, lessons, and openings rather than threats, excuses, or reasons to feel powerless. Most people believe opportunity is something external, something that arrives when conditions improve, but in reality, opportunity is first perceived internally before it is ever seized externally. If the mind is conditioned to notice only what is wrong, it will walk past chances every single day without recognizing them. When you appreciate, you interrupt the survival wiring of the brain that is obsessed with lack and danger. Complaining activates stress responses that narrow perception and limit creativity. Appreciation does the opposite. It signals safety and control, allowing higher cognitive functions to activate. This is when clarity sharpens, ideas emerge, and problem-solving improves. The same situation that once felt like a dead end suddenly reveals options, angles, and possibilities that were invisible before. Nothing outside changed, but everything inside did. A mind rooted in appreciation does not deny hardship. It extracts power from it. Every challenge contains information. Every setback carries feedback. Appreciation trains you to ask empowering questions, such as, what can this teach me? How can this strengthen me? Where is the leverage here? These questions reshape neural pathways over time. The brain begins to associate difficulty with growth instead of defeat. That is how resilience is built. That is how confidence becomes internal rather than dependent on outcomes. Opportunity favors those who can see beyond immediate discomfort. When you appreciate what you already have, you stop operating from desperation. Desperation clouds judgment and leads to short-term thinking. Appreciation stabilizes the nervous system and creates patience. From patience comes strategy. From strategy comes timing. Life rewards those who move with awareness rather than emotional reactivity. Appreciation creates that awareness by grounding you in the present while keeping you open to the future. Many people believe motivation comes after success, but appreciation flips that equation. Appreciation creates motivation because it reminds you that you already have something worth building upon. Energy follows appreciation. When you appreciate your skills, you use them more. When you appreciate your time, you invest it wisely. When you appreciate your experiences, even painful ones, you integrate them instead of running from them. Integration is where wisdom is formed, and wisdom multiplies opportunity. A grateful mind also changes how others respond to you. People are naturally drawn to those who recognize value instead of constantly pointing out flaws. Appreciation improves communication, strengthens trust, and opens doors that force never could. Opportunities often arrive through people, and people respond to emotional presence more than words. When appreciation becomes your default state, your presence becomes magnetic, calm, and grounded. That presence invites collaboration, support, and unexpected openings. Limitation is not the absence of options, it is the habit of overlooking them. Appreciation breaks that habit by shifting attention. Attention is the currency of reality. What you give attention to grows stronger in your experience. When attention is placed on scarcity, fear expands. When attention is placed on gratitude, possibility expands. Over time, this shift compounds. Small recognitions of value lead to small actions. Small actions create momentum. Momentum attracts bigger opportunities that once felt unreachable. The most successful individuals are not those who avoid problems, but those who train their minds to convert problems into platforms. Appreciation is the conversion tool. It turns pressure into purpose, struggle into strength, and uncertainty into curiosity. When appreciation becomes automatic, the mind stops asking why life is unfair and starts asking how to move forward with what is available now. That question alone separates growth-driven individuals from those who remain stuck in cycles of complaint. Life continuously presents raw matter. EL. Appreciation determines whether that material becomes a burden or a building block. The rewired mind does not wait for ideal conditions. It recognizes that progress begins the moment value is acknowledged. Opportunity is not hidden, it is filtered. Appreciation removes the filter of limitation and reveals what has been there all along. Complaining drains energy because it places the mind in a state of resistance against reality. The moment you complain, your nervous system tightens, your breathing becomes shallow, and your focus narrows. Energy that could be used for thinking, creating, deciding, or moving forward is instead burned on frustration and mental noise. Complaining feels like release, but it is actually leakage. It keeps you mentally circling the problem instead of rising above it. The body and mind interpret complaint as a signal of helplessness, and helplessness shuts down power at its source. Gratitude works in the opposite direction because it aligns the mind with acceptance and control. Acceptance does not mean approval of pain or difficulty. It means acknowledging what is real without fighting it internally. The moment you stop fighting reality, energy returns. Gratitude tells your system that even if the situation is challenging, you are still in command of your response. That sense of command is personal power. Power is not force or dominance. It is the ability to choose your state regardless of circumstances. Every complaint you repeat strengthens the habit of victimhood. The brain begins to associate discomfort with blame rather than responsibility. Over time, this creates exhaustion because the mind is constantly searching for someone or something to fault. Blame feels justified, but it is heavy. It anchors attention in the past and drains emotional fuel. Gratitude lifts attention forward. It asks what is still working, what remains possible, and what can be used right now. Those questions energize because they imply movement and choice. Gratitude multiplies personal power because it shifts identity. When you appreciate, you no longer see yourself as someone life happens to, but as someone who participates with life. Participation activates confidence. Confidence fuels action. Action builds evidence. Evidence strengthens belief. This loop compounds over time. Complaining creates the opposite loop. It weakens belief, reduces action, and reinforces the story that effort does not matter. That story quietly kills ambition. Energy follows meaning. Complaining strips experiences of meaning by reducing them to inconvenience or injustice. Gratitude restores meaning by reframing experiences as contributors to growth. When something has meaning, it becomes energizing even if it is difficult. Athletes, leaders, and high performers are not energized because life is easy. They are energized because they see purpose in the pressure. Gratitude is the mechanism that reveals that purpose. Personal power is also relational. People respond differently to someone who complains versus someone who appreciates. Complaint repels support because it feels heavy and unresolved. Gratitude attracts support because it feels grounded and self-directed. This does not mean pretending everything is fine. It means communicating challenges without surrendering ownership. When others sense that you are using difficulty to grow rather than to seek pity, they become more willing to help, collaborate, and open doors. Gratitude sharpens discipline. When you appreciate your time, you stop wasting it. When you appreciate your abilities, you stop neglecting them. When you appreciate progress, even small progress, you become consistent. Consistency is power in motion. Complaining destroys consistency because it creates emotional spikes followed by crashes. Gratitude stabilizes emotions, and emotional stability allows sustained effort. Sustained effort is what separates potential from results. The body responds to gratitude with increased vitality. Stress hormones decrease, focus improves, and physical tension releases. This is not philosophy, it is physiology. A body under constant complaint remains in fight or flight, burning energy just to stay alert. A body grounded in gratitude conserves energy and channels it into performance. That is why gratitude feels like strength rather than softness. It is efficient. It eliminates waste. Gratitude does not ignore problems, it repositions them. Problems become feedback instead of punishment. Feedback is usable. Punishment is paralyzing. When you see life as giving feedback, you stay curious. Curiosity keeps the mind open. An open mind learns faster, adapts quicker, and recovers stronger. That adaptability is real power in a world that constantly changes. Personal power grows when inner dialogue changes. Complaining is a form of internal sabotage disguised as honesty. Gratitude is honest awareness without self-betrayal. It says, "This is hard and I am still capable." That statement alone restores energy. Over time, gratitude becomes less of an action and more of an identity. When that happens, effort feels lighter, challenges feel purposeful, and power feels natural rather than forced. Life responds to that state because it is the state of someone ready to carry more responsibility, more opportunity, and more growth. What you focus on expands because attention is the steering wheel of the mind. The brain strengthens whatever pathways are repeatedly activated, and focus is the signal that tells the brain what matters. When attention is placed on problems, limitations, and frustrations, the mind becomes highly skilled at detecting obstacles. It sharpens its ability to see what is wrong, what is missing, and what might go wrong next. Over time, this focus feels like realism, but in truth, it is conditioning. Appreciation redirects that conditioning toward growth by deliberately training the mind to recognize progress, value, and possibility. Focus determines emotional state, and emotional state determines behavior. When focus is dominated by scarcity, emotions tighten into fear, anger, or hopelessness. Those emotions restrict creativity and lower risk tolerance. Appreciation shifts focus toward what is already working, even if it is small. This shift creates emotional stability and optimism, not blind optimism, but grounded optimism that says something is possible because something is already moving. That emotional shift changes behavior. You take more initiative, communicate more clearly, and persist longer. These behaviors compound into growth. Appreciation sharpens focus because it removes mental noise. Complaining scatters attention by replaying the same frustration in different forms. The mind loops instead of advances. Appreciation simplifies the internal dialogue. It asks, what is useful here? What can I learn? What can I apply? These questions narrow focus to actionable information. Actionable focus is powerful because it leads directly to results rather than rumination. Growth happens when focus is precise, not when it is emotional. Many people confuse focus with intensity. They believe working harder means focusing harder. In reality, unfocused intensity leads to burnout. Appreciation introduces clarity. When you appreciate your goals, you reconnect with why they matter. That why sharpens focus more effectively than pressure ever could. Pressure forces action temporarily. Appreciation sustains action over time. Focus is what creates mastery. Growth requires feedback, and appreciation allows you to receive feedback without defensiveness. When focus is rooted in ego or complaint, feedback feels like attack. The mind closes. When focus is rooted in appreciation, feedback feels like guidance. The mind opens. An open mind absorbs lessons faster and adjusts more effectively. This adaptability accelerates growth. Appreciation keeps focus flexible instead of rigid, and flexibility is strength. Focus also shapes identity. You become what you consistently pay attention to. When you focus on appreciation, you begin to see yourself as someone who grows, learns, and progresses. This identity influences decisions automatically. You choose habits that align with growth because they feel natural, not forced. Complaining creates an identity of struggle. Appreciation creates an identity of expansion. Identity-driven focus is far more powerful than motivation-driven focus because it operates even when motivation fades. Appreciation trains focus to recognize momentum. Momentum is often subtle at first. It appears as small improvements, slightly better choices, or brief moments of clarity. A complaining mind overlooks these signals because they do not match expectations of dramatic change. An appreciative mind notices them and amplifies them through action. This is how small wins become big breakthroughs. Focused appreciation turns progress into fuel. Clarity is a byproduct of focus and appreciatio. N enhances clarity by reducing fear. Fear distorts focus by exaggerating risks and minimizing strengths. Appreciation balances perception. It acknowledges risk without being ruled by it. It acknowledges weakness without being defined by it. This balanced focus allows intelligent decision-making. Intelligent decisions compound into sustainable growth. Growth is not linear, and appreciation keeps focus steady during fluctuations. When results dip, a mind trained in appreciation focuses on process rather than panic. It asks what can be refined instead of what went wrong. This keeps effort consistent. Consistency is the real accelerator of growth. Focused appreciation prevents the emotional highs and lows that derail long-term progress. The quality of your focus determines the quality of your experience. Appreciation refines focus so it becomes intentional rather than reactive. When focus is intentional, growth becomes predictable. You may not control outcomes, but you control attention. And attention shapes habits, habits shape character, and character shapes destiny. Appreciation is not a passive feeling. It is an active discipline that directs focus toward expansion instead of contraction. When practiced daily, it becomes the invisible force that steadily moves life forward, not through force, but through alignment with growth itself. Life responds to emotional frequency because human behavior is guided less by logic and more by state of being. Emotional frequency is the lens through which you interpret reality and the signal you project into the world. When you live in frustration, resentment, or complaint, your perception becomes narrow and defensive. You notice threats faster than opportunities and obstacles louder than solutions. Appreciation raises emotional frequency by shifting the nervous system from survival to creativity. This shift changes how you see, how you decide, and how you act. Appreciation does not magically change circumstances, but it changes the quality of your engagement with them. When emotional frequency is low, reactions are automatic and impulsive. Decisions are driven by fear or irritation. When emotional frequency is high, responses become deliberate and strategic. Appreciation creates space between stimulus and response. In that space lies choice, and choice is where personal power lives. People often underestimate how much their emotional state shapes outcomes. Opportunities are not only about skills or timing, they are also about perception and presence. When appreciation elevates, your frequency, you become more alert, grounded, and open. You listen better, notice patterns faster, and respond with calm confidence. These qualities attract opportunities because they signal reliability and competence. Life tends to reward those who can handle more without collapsing emotionally. Emotional frequency also influences persistence. Low frequency states drain stamina. Complaining feels exhausting because it reinforces he belief that effort is pointless. Appreciation restores stamina by reconnecting effort to meaning. When effort has meaning, it feels lighter even when it is demanding. This is why some people can endure long periods of pressure without breaking while others give up quickly. Appreciation sustains emotional fuel. High emotional frequency improves relationships. People are sensitive to emotional tone even when they are unaware of it. Appreciation communicates respect, presence, and stability. These signals build trust. Trust opens doors that force cannot. Life often rewards individuals through relationships, collaborations, and referrals. Appreciation strengthens these channels by making interactions constructive rather than draining. Emotional frequency affects learning speed. When you operate in frustration, mistakes feel threatening and learning slows. Appreciation reframes mistakes as data. This reduces fear and accelerates growth. A mind that is not afraid of feedback evolves faster. Faster evolution leads to better results over time. Life responds to this adaptability because it reflects readiness for greater responsibility. Stress is a natural part of growth, but chronic stress lowers emotional frequency. Appreciation counteracts this by regulating the nervous system. It brings attention back to what is stable and supportive, even in chaos. This regulation allows you to remain effective under pressure. Effectiveness under pressure is a rare skill, and life rewards it. With trust, leadership opportunities, and influence, high emotional frequency does not mean constant happiness. It means emotional resilience. Appreciation builds that resilience by training you to find grounding even when emotions fluctuate. Instead of being pulled under by anger or disappointment, you recover faster. Recovery speed is more important than avoidance of difficulty. Life responds positively to those who can fall and rise without bitterness. Your emotional frequency shapes self-talk. Low frequency produces inner dialogue filled with doubt and blame. High frequency produces dialogue that is honest but constructive. Appreciation shifts self-talk from criticism to coaching. When you become your own ally instead of your own enemy, performance improves. Improved performance changes results, and changed results reinforce confidence. Emotional frequency influences vision. When frequency is low, the future looks threatening or empty. When frequency is high, the future looks challenging but possible. Appreciation fuels that sense of possibility. Possibility inspires planning, investment, and courage. Courage is rewarded because it moves life forward. Life does not judge emotions, it responds to patterns. Appreciation establishes a pattern of engagement that is proactive, resilient, and solution-focused. Over time, this pattern shapes outcomes. Opportunities appear because you are prepared to see them. Growth accelerates because you are willing to learn. Success becomes sustainable because it is built on emotional stability rather than emotional extremes. Appreciation raises emotional frequency not as a philosophy, but as a practical discipline that aligns you with how life actually works, rewarding those who meet challenge with presence instead of complaint. Responsibility plus gratitude creates unstoppable momentum because it unites ownership with optimism. Responsibility alone can feel heavy. Gratitude alone can feel passive. Together, they form a powerful engine that drives consistent action. Responsibility is the decision to own your outcomes regardless of circumstances. Gratitude is the decision to value what you have while working for more. When these two operate together, excuses disappear and energy rises. Responsibility shifts your focus from what happened to what can be done. It ends the habit of waiting for permission, rescue, or perfect conditions. The moment you take responsibility, you reclaim authority over your life. Authority creates clarity. Clarity creates direction. Direction eliminates hesitation. Gratitude fuels that direction by reminding you that your effort is meaningful because you already possess resources worth investing. Without gratitude, responsibility can turn into self-criticism. People may say, I should be further ahead or I should have known better. That kind of responsibility is harsh and draining. Gratitude softens responsibility without weakening it. It allows you to say, I have learned, I am capable, and I am progressing. This balanced mindset sustains effort without burning out. Momentum is built through action taken consistently over time. Complaining interrupts momentum by justifying inaction. Responsibility removes justification. Gratitude removes resentment. When resentment is gone, effort feels lighter. When effort feels lighter, consistency becomes possible. Consistency compounds. This compounding effect is what makes momentum feel unstoppable. Responsibility also sharpens decision-making. When you own your choices, you choose more carefully. You stop reacting emotionally and start acting intentionally. Gratitude stabilizes emotions, so decisions are made from clarity rather than frustration. Clear decisions reduce regret. Reduced regret increases confidence. Confidence accelerates action. This cycle reinforces itself. Gratitude enhances responsibility by increasing respect for your own potential. When you appreciate your abilities, you hold yourself to higher standards without hostility. You do the work not because you are afraid of failure, but because you value growth. This intrinsic motivation is stronger than external pressure. Life rewards those who move from inner drive rather than external force. Responsibility plus gratitude also transforms setbacks. When something fails, responsibility asks, what part can I improve? Gratitude asks, what did this teach me? Together, they convert failure into feedback. Feedback guides adjustment. Adjustment leads to improvement. Improvement builds belief. Belief sustains momentum even when results are slow. This combination builds resilience. Responsibility prevents you from collapsing into blame. Gratitude prevents you from hardening into bitterness. Resilience emerges when you can acknowledge pain without surrendering progress. Life responds to resilience by offering more complex challenges and greater opportunities because resilience signals readiness. Momentum is not loud at first. It begins quietly with small commitments honored consistently. Responsibility ensures those commitments are kept. Gratitude ensures they are appreciated. Appreciated effort feels rewarding even before external results appear. This internal reward system keeps you moving when motivation fluctuates. People who embody responsibility and gratitude become reliable. Reliability attracts trust. Trust attracts opportunity. Life often expands for those who can be counted on, especially under pressure. Responsibility shows you can be counted on. Gratitude shows you can handle growth without entitlement. This combination makes you someone life can safely give more to. Responsibility plus gratitude also reshape identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone trying to escape circumstances and start seeing yourself as someone building a future. Identity shapes behavior automatically. You act in alignment with who you believe you are. When you see yourself as responsible and grateful, action becomes natural rather than forced. Unstoppable momentum is not about intensity, it is about alignment. Responsibility aligns you with action. Gratitude aligns you with meaning. When action and meaning move together, progress becomes inevitable. Life responds to those who carry responsibility without complaint and gratitude without complacency. This state creates forward motion that does not depend on mood or conditions. It depends on commitment, and commitment guided by appreciation has the strength to outlast obstacles, outgrow setbacks, and continuously convert effort into evolution. Make a decision today to stop outsourcing your power to complain and start reclaiming it through appreciation. Catch yourself in moments of frustration and consciously replace them with responsibility and gratitude. Write down 3 things you appreciate about your life, your abilities, and your challenges. Then take one bold action using what you already have. Do not wait for motivation, create momentum. Choose to own your story, honor your effort, and move forward with purpose. Life rewards those who act from appreciation, not excuses. Start now and let your actions prove it.